Good morning, Bears. Welcome to the Friday Epic. Great day yesterday learning about ancient and American Black history. Today we're going to dive into a little corroboration. Corroboration means when you cooperate two different sources together. And we're also going to talk about our grapes. Remember grapes, geography, religion, accomplishments. Now remember, accomplishments are the ones that have a lot going on. Accomplishments can be technology. Did they invent something? Did they come up with math? Were they astronomers? It can also be agriculture. That means they are shepherds, or they did farming, irrigation, which is kind of agriculture and an accomplishment. So the reason agriculture is an accomplishment because doing stuff with agriculture is an accomplishment. Type of houses, things like that. And then P, politics. Were they chiefs? Were they kings? Did they have leadership? Were they pharaohs? Did they have, we haven't learned about this yet, but did they have democracy, republics? That's coming next with Greece. And then we have an E, economics, money, trading. Do they trade for things? Do they have little coins? And then, of course, society is also social structure. It's dance, music, instruments, and also those social structure. So there's overlaps because in politics, if you have a king, they're the top of the society or social structure. But did they have slaves? Did they have peasants? Were people allowed to own their own land? So there's a little crossover there. So I want you to remember those because as we watch these two videos today, just think of which one is interesting. That's one way to do it, to say, oh, I like geography. I'm going to look for geographical clues. That means the land, rivers, mountains. Or another way to do it is in the first film, be thinking of those grapes. And as soon as one jumps out at you, you're like, oh, they just talked about religion. So in your mind, take note of it. If you're good at it, write it in your top slide. Take a little note while we're watching the video. And then look for other corroborating evidence to support what you're tracking. So then when we watch the second video, you'll look for corroborating evidence, something in the second video that matches something in the first video. All right, so remember it's a Friday Epic. Hopefully we can get you started to work on it a little bit today, but today will mostly be taken up with the teaching. But then tomorrow, those that are done, we will look at slideshows. And it will be student-led Friday, fun day Friday. Hopefully play a little guitar, but let you guys lead the class, share your screen, show your slideshows, and learn from each other. First half of class, and then I give you the rest of class, at least 30 minutes, we hope, to work on your projects tomorrow. So everything we're doing today, remember, not really due till Monday, and you will have class time tomorrow to work on it. All right, let's take a look at a slideshow. If you're in Zoom with me, I will pick a slideshow or two or three to quickly go over from yesterday's highlighted slides. If you're on just watching this video on your own, then you just get what you get. Let's see if anybody's turned it in. Nobody's turned it in yet. Remember, this submission thing, SUBMIT, it will say on yours. When you're done, you need to submit it. Melody, I'd like you to open your slideshow. Let's scroll down and see if we have anybody. Just kind of get lucky and find somebody from yesterday. Okay, so it looks like Raphael has his basics done, but I don't see yesterday's Mandy, so we'll go try to find somebody that has their basics done. Their Mandy done. Let's see, here we have very little done, Matthew. You might want to get working. Mercy, tell me you've opened yours. Good job, Mercy. You've opened it. Now you just have to get busy. Dayanara, check here. Here we go. All right. So, Dayanara has, look at this. Good job, Dayanara. Black history slide, ancient American. What I learned about ancient black history is people from different countries, religion, and skin weren't allowed to marry each other. Yes, they're in the Bible because Moses married a black Cushite woman. Yes, so God does support it, the biblical God, if you believe in that. And then, but in history and including today, that's been an issue. It shouldn't be an issue, but it has been. And then she quotes, Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife. He had married a Cushite. Excellent. Good job, Dianara. Now, so you should have a Black History slide up top, A-level students, and then you should have your King Saul. Let's go down and look at one we have not looked at. We kind of jumped down here. So we've talked about the temples. Remember, the one temple was around 1,000, and this is how you guys can learn from each other. 11th century BC. And remember, King Saul, I believe, is Solomon, a fabulously wealthy and wise king. Let's see, I want to find the temple. According to the biblical narrative, Solomon's temple, also known as the first temple, was a temple in Jerusalem built under King Solomon's reign and completed about 957, 1000 BC. Now remember, Solomon is David's son. Then we come down to the Assyrian siege. Army captured the Israelite capital of Samaria and carried away the citizens to the northern kingdom of Israel into captivity. Now and then although Judah was a vassal of Assyria during this time and paid an annual tribute to the powerful empire, it was the most important state between Assyria and Egypt. Wow. So Judah, or Israel, was the most important state between Assyria and Egypt. Remember, Assyria's over in Mesopotamia, Egypt's over at the Nile, Judah's stuck in the middle, and at one point the Assyrians come in and take them into captivity. Then there's our Jewish prophets. We haven't focused on that much. Second temple. Let's talk about this. The time of the second temple is divided into different periods. The Persian period, 586 to 332. Remember, the first temple is 1000 BC. And the Hellenistic period, 332 to 63. This Hellenistic period is what we are going to dive into in 2 weeks. When we come back after Judaism, we go into this Hellenistic period. And that's basically the Greeks. And so we get to learn about Greek gods. You guys are going to love it. Then we will go into the Roman period around Easter, which ties into Christianity again, which we did talk about this period of time during Christianity, the birth of Jesus. But now we're going to talk about the spread of Christianity, which is also in the Roman period. Just giving you a preview here. Now, in 37 BC, King Herod enlarged the Temple Mount and rebuilt the temple with the consent of the public. So it was expanding at 37 BC, and the next thing you know, and this diaspora is happening all along the way, but even more later, the Jewish temple destroyed 70 CE. Remember, Jesus dies around 35. There are lots of things in the New Testament and Old Testament about this event. If you believe it was written earlier, it's prophetic. Other people believe it was adapted later. The siege of Jerusalem in the year 2070 CE was the decisive event of the First Jewish-Roman War, in which the Roman army captured the city of Jerusalem and destroyed both the city and its temple. And that was the end of temple worship for Jews all the way up to this day. They go to a wall they're still there, but they now have synagogues, which is kind of like a Christian church, and they do not have this temple. Some people hope for it to be rebuilt. We will dive back into Judaism a little bit when we go into Christianity, because remember, all of the early Christians were Jews. Thank you, Dianara, for that beautiful overview of where we're at today. All right, now let's dive into our films, but before we do, let's make a slide. We're going to make a top slide, and we're just going to call it Corroboration and Grapes from Different, let's make it fun, vines. Now, you can get fun with this and do our little graphics, because you could, if you wanted, kind of say, well, we have one grape tree here, or a grapevine here, and then we have another grapevine here, and each one would represent a video. Another fun thing you can do is create, insert, chart, do I want a chart? Table, I want a table, a 2x2 table. Just make whatever one you want. I'm just going to show you. And then you could put the video of one here. So you could put video number 1. And you could put video number 2. And if you really went fancy, you could put names of videos, but we're not worried about it. And then you could put, as the video goes, you could learn something. So say, for example, an easy one. Video 1 says monotheism, belief in one God. And this is what we want to put what it is. Let's put what it is at the beginning. Now you could get really fancy and have multi-tiers for the G and stuff. But that's a G. I mean, not a G, I'm sorry. That's an R for religion. Okay? So religion. And then say you're watching video 2 and you find a match or a corroboration. Monotheism. Belief in one God. So now, when you watch these 2 videos, you can fill out your chart. And try to get 3 if you can, but they can be one thing. It could be religion. Say your next one's A for accomplishments. Say your next one is P for politics. Whatever one you want to do. And remember, I have all of this spelled out in groups. People often say, what are we supposed to do? Right here. Basics, create a top slide, grapes, and corroboration. Pick any 1 to 3 of the letters: geography, religion, accomplishments, agriculture, politics, economics, or society. After watching the 2 videos linked in Tuesday's lesson, find corroborating evidence on the 2 letters you picked to focus on. So there it is right there, and here's an example for you. And then Friday is student-led, so all your overview is there. All right, now let's get going, and let's try. If you can, start filling it out as you go. You're looking for any one of the grapes in this video as we watch it. Now, we are not going to watch this full video. I'm just going to get it started. We'll watch some clips in class. You can welcome to watch the whole thing later, and then we'll watch a little clip and I will start it. So if you're in Zoom today, we'll watch it together. These links are right here in groups. Go down to Tuesday, Judaism overview video, Judaism overview video number 2. Those are these videos that if you're not in Zoom, go watch them and learn and match your grapes. If you're in Zoom, guess what? We're going to watch them together right now. Let's start with Judaism week 2, day 1. Let's get this guy going and we'll watch it now. Okay, remember, pause the video now if you're not in groups, if you're not in Zoom. You're watching this on your own, pause the video now and go watch that video. So now if you've come back from that, before you forget and watch the second video, go back to your slide. And now let's go ahead and take about 5 minutes and just put 1 or 2 things you've learned from video 1. You do not have to make a chart like this if you don't get it. We don't have time to figure it out. But if you're good at stuff like this, make it. You just come over here, insert, table, I keep calling it a chart. And remember, you can do pictures, you can have fun. We're learning technology as we learn history. So go ahead and take a couple notes now, 5 minutes, then we'll come back for the second video. You're back. If you have this done, you're ahead of the game. If you don't, now you have to remember more stuff. It's going to be hard. If you're just a C-level student, just make a slide and write something you learned about the 2 videos. If you're an A or a B level student, you're trying to tie what you learned, corroborating, matching one video information to the second video's information using our GRAPES acronym. All right, let's watch the second video. The Khan Academy right here. Okay, so hopefully now, by watching 2 different videos, remember they're called sources, you're able to match up and corroborate evidence. Remember, 2 different people, one from a Jewish perspective, one from a non-Jewish. I've listened to a lot of his videos. I don't know if he's religious or not. I think he's like me, coming to you as a teacher, because he teaches all kinds of different religions. Like, I'm going to teach you all kinds of different religions. And we're coming of a perspective as a teacher, just educating you about what other people believe. The Jewish rabbi, or he might not be a rabbi, but he's a teacher, he is coming to you from the perspective of a Jewish person, giving you a history of what he believes. Now, those are different perspectives. We're not doing an activity on that today, but I always like to, we tap into these different things we want to know. So right now, from those 2 pieces of information, if they match from 2 different perspectives, we can have a good belief that what we've learned is true. So now, rest of class, finish this. A-level people will try to have R for religion, G for geography, A for accomplishments, E for economics, P for politics, C for social structure of society. You don't have to do them all. If you do them all, it's because you're a superstar, and that's great. If you want to and you want to learn and you want to be college level, do it. You just have to get 1 done to be kind of on track for a B. just do something about the videos in a slide to have a C. In A level, people will attempt to have 2 or 3 notes that match from both videos. All right, let's get this done tomorrow. Remember, no video lesson tomorrow. We're going to get on to Zoom. Student-led day. Different people share their screens, share their favorite slide, or the whole, well, not the whole project. Probably choose your favorite slide. So if you have a top slide, move that to the top and be ready to share it tomorrow if you want to be student-led. All right, have a great day, everybody.